Good day, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the OffGridEnclave. Summertime is project time, and as the weather is quite nice, let's get some stuff done. For my outside living room, I want some nice stairs up the hill slope to connect the currently hole in the wall and soon to be door. I already did the first step for this. With a simple shuffle, I cut the rough contours of the stairs into the hill slope. I also prepared some materials left over from other projects and the basic tools we need for concreting. Without further ado, let's get right into it. For the first step, I removed the grass level, removed all the roots, and cut the profile of the stairs into the hill slope. Furthermore, I prepared some basic materials that I will be needing for this. Some metal mesh, some stone plates, some geotextile, and some metal reinforcement left over from inside works. After we have the rough form of the stairs cut into the hillside, we start with the geotextile. I'll put the geotextile on all the surfaces of the stairs. After that, I sprinkled some stones on there so the geotextile doesn't move. In the next step, I put the basic layer of steel reinforcement. As we're only building some light garden stairs, the structural integrity of the steel reinforcement is not that essential. With that in mind, I'm using a bunch of chicken wire here and a lot of scrap metal I found around the site. When deploying this basic level of steel reinforcement, it is crucial to not deploy the steel reinforcement straight onto the geotextile. Make sure to leave a gap of about 2 to 3 centimeters under the steel reinforcement so the concrete can nicely slip under there. Of course, whenever I do something in the garden, sooner or later somebody's gonna come around and inspect the whole project. Seems OSHA is happy and everything is up to spec, so let's continue here. As you can see, I also put some steel reinforcement on the side walls of the stairs to make sure that the hill doesn't collapse in on that side. I'll give you guys a bit of an overview how I did this top tier, top notch, up to specs steel reinforcement. And with that, we're basically ready to get the first layer of concrete sorted.
Six and a half hours later.
Alright then, we did our first 50 Shades of Grey action for this project and deployed the base layer of concrete. Of course we want the base plate or the foundation for the stairs to be reasonably solid, however we're also not building bridges. I went for a combination of 3.5 to 4 buckets of sand on 1 bucket of concrete. As for the thickness of the layer, I tried to be between 3 and 5 centimeters for this one. Keep in mind guys, the 50 Shades of Grey is quite a wet business. Make sure, especially during sunny days when the sun is blasting, to keep everything nicely moisturized. Especially in sunny or windy conditions, make sure to cover your concrete surfaces with some tarp, plastic or carton or anything alike, so the fresh concrete doesn't dry out too quickly and can carbonize properly. It is good practice to re-moisturize the fresh concrete surface in the coming days 2 or 3 times per day, depending on the outside conditions. Now we wait 3 to 4 days, so the concrete has achieved some basic hardness.
3 days later.
Now that the base form of the stairs has hardened sufficiently, I deployed a bunch of plates on the steps of the stairs. This is the step where one needs to think, how do you want the water later on to run down your stairs? Don't just randomly put plates and then later on find out that you made a puddle and during rain your stairs are unusable. Think of how you want to transport the water down the hill and arrange the steps and everything accordingly. Aside from the steps, I also put a bunch of stones on the side walls to increase the stability and give it a nice natural look. In this layer of the 50 shades of grey, I will also integrate the natural stones in between the steps. Same reason, it increases the stability a lot and it also gives a very nice natural look. Let me give you guys a bit of an overview how things look at the end of this step. Slowly but surely, the form and style of the stairs is starting to be visible. Same as with the step before, once we're done with the work for the day, we cover everything after we moisturized it properly. Then we wait at least 3 to 4 days before the next work step so the concrete can harden. If you made it this far into the video, consider leaving a like if you enjoy what you see. Subscribe to keep up to date with future videos, or leave a comment and tell me what you think. If you have ideas, input or anything of that sort, don't be shy, hop on our Discord. I'm gonna leave the link down there in the description. That being said, let's get back to the 50 shades of grey. After deploying concrete manually, and especially in between natural stones and rocks, the surface is usually quite rough. So in this step we're gonna do the surface treatment and smoothen it up nicely. You can see the difference in the surface from a far angle already. The spot where the brush is surface treated, while the rest is not. I will give you guys a close-up of the untreated surface here. First off, we start by using a spatula or something alike and remove all the chimps and rough pieces that are around. After achieving a somewhat plain surface with no spiky pieces sticking out, we make a very thick water cement mixture. And I mean proper thick. Don't just sprinkle a bit of cement into the water. Sprinkle a bit of water into the cement. The viscosity should be somewhere around pudding. We use a big brush and apply it evenly across the surface. And once again we do the same as on the steps before. We make sure that after the day of work we properly wrap up everything so as much surface area as possible is covered, and in the coming 4 to 5 days we remoisturize everything in a 4 to 5 hour cycle during the day. For these small stairs the remoisturing process takes about 10 to 15 liters.
3 days later.
After a day or two under the rugs, we double check the surface. For areas that are still a bit rough, we repeat the same process as we did before. We make a very thick water concrete mixture and brush that area to smoothen it out. The thin layer of concrete that got onto the stones with the brush will buff out after a few months, and the natural color of the rock and stones will come out and look much more natural than it does at the moment. As the stairs are done, what I did next is build a nice plateau on top and connect them with the soon-to-be door in the hall. With that, the stairs project is done. I'm gonna give you guys some impressions of the finished result. With that, thanks you all for watching, have a great day and make it count.